Hello Virgo, thank you for joining me for your weekly tarot for the 23rd to the 30th of September. Just to make you guys all aware, there has been someone out there who has been cloning my channel, okay? So please make sure that you're watching my readings on my channel, which will always be Phoenix Keia Tarot, okay? So if you find my readings on a strangely named tarot channel that is not Phoenix Keia Tarot, then it's going to be stolen content, okay? Right, so we are taking a look at your situation this week, your inner world, your blind spot, what is working for you, what is working against you, okay? And you've got rebellion that's coming out with versatility. Okay, going against the grain this week, Virgo. Doing something that is completely, I want to say, almost out of character for you. No longer just accepting the way that things have been. Okay, no longer just going with whatever everyone else is doing. You're definitely rebelling and going against the grain. Now, that's a good thing. That's a good thing for you. Because I have been feeling in your energy for a couple of months that there's been this frustration that's been building up, especially in terms of, well, you know, we're needing fresh energy coming in. We need fresh ideas. We need to start doing things in a new way, right? And to see this coming through in your energy, it's quite profound. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this rebellion. Let's see if we can get some specifics here. So can you tell us more about this rebellion for Virgo? That one is Mars in Aquarius energy. I mean, you might have strong Aquarian placements in your own chart that you're really sort of honing in and utilizing at this point. Can you tell us more about this rebellion? You've also got Sun in Gemini with the versatility message. Yeah, the Ten of Wands. Okay, so yeah, that is about responsibility, but I'm also feeling that that's more to do with pressures that have been put on you that you're rebelling against now. Okay, can you tell us more? The Hangman. Interesting. Uncertainty. There's a pause. There's a pause in action with this Hangman. Let me get another deck out for you, because I want to make sure that I'm getting as much information out as I possibly can. So was this rebellion and then pause all about, please, the Virgo? What's this message about the pause with the Hangman? The World and the Nine of Swords. Okay. Worried about the potential consequences, worried about the consequences of having to do something that is really quite out there for you, but then also worried about not doing it as well. So certainly stuck between a rock and a hard place, because there is concern. Well, you know, I can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over. I know I need to adapt and change something that does require going against the grain. Might end up falling out with people about this, but I'm kind of like, damned if I do and damned if I don't. If I don't do it, I'm going to regret it. If I do it, I'm going to fall out with people. They're going to disagree. And it seems like that's a lot of weight on your shoulders at this point in time, Virgo. A lot. I'm also under the impression that you're expecting quite a lot from yourself at this moment in time. You're definitely not giving yourself enough leeway, enough breathing space as well. Okay, so yeah, maybe slowing down a little bit is going to be the answer here, right? Slowing down isn't stopping, it's not quitting, it's not giving up, it's just slowing down, right? Okay, what's going on in your inner world? Fortune, nice. Yeah, you know that you're onto something, with this fortune. It's like, it feels like this is part of your purpose, right? With this fortune being your inner world energy. Yeah, Queen of Wands. So whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't make a difference. You can still be in this Queen of Wands type energy. Just trying to let some more sunlight through a minute. It's getting dark out there. I think it's going to thunder. But yeah, this Queen of Wands, attraction energy, magnetic energy, you using your charisma to your advantage here. Can you tell us more about this Queen of Wands? That's also confidence. There's an increase in confidence. Hierophant, the Lovers, and the Knight of Cups. Okay. Interesting. Indications here that you're not doing this alone. That you're doing this with a partner, with someone else who also cares about you, cares about the cause. I am getting romantic energy that's coming through with this one as well. The Devil, that one's come out squiffy. Breaking free from what has kept you stuck. Okay, can you tell us? Interesting. Tell us more about his fortune. King of Cups in the upright position. Love, emotional availability. Emotional availability. Healthy love. You're rewriting your love language here because this is going on in your inner world. The Two of Swords. Okay. You're no longer confused about who you are, what it is that you want out of life, what it is that you expect, what it is that you expect from other people. Like in the past, it kind of feels like you just put up with any kind of bullshit from people because of reasons that only you know. The Devil here, it was keeping you stuck. There's also the energy of being stuck in torment here. Because certain individuals were not emotionally given. They weren't emotionally available. So you've been, because this is your internal world, you've been rewriting your own love language, rewriting teachings about unconditional love and what that actually means, and realizing that it does not mean for you to just accept abuse and disrespect. Can you tell us more about this, please, for Virgo? So that's changed everything up for you. Strength and the Four of Cups. There's also a message here about how you now handle people pushing you away, people rejecting you. It no longer has such a strong negative impact on you the way that it used to. What's this Lovers and Knight of Cups, please, for Virgo? The Star, yeah, healing. Healing. There's a total turnaround here. When it comes down to love, openness, emotions, you're no longer closed off here. And it's bringing in this fortune. It's completely changed the way that you see yourself, that you feel about yourself. I mean, I definitely want to say, because this is internal energies, there has been an emotional and spiritual awakening that's taken place within you. Right, so what's in your blind spot? Devotion. Devotion is in your blind spot. I kind of feel like you've got a secret admirer here, Virgo. Interesting. What's this devotion? Yeah, it's a secret admirer, the Two of Cups. Secret admirer. Attracted to you because of this completely new vibe that you're giving off. Okay, so is this what you've been rebelling against more recently? You've been rebelling against just basically being expected to accept shoddy ass behaviour off of shoddy ass people. Is that why you've stepped outside of that expectation here with this rebellion and versatility? Some of you guys, you could have been trained from a very young age, especially if you are female. And the reason why I say that is because oftentimes it is little girls who are trained to live their lives at the behest of others and to be of servitude to others and to always put other people's needs and wants and feelings first, right? Even in Western culture, that still very much is an ongoing problem. Yes, you can definitely still be affected by that as a man, or, you know, whatever, but it's far more common for little girls basically to be trained to be servants to others, both mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, right? Virgo, whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't make a difference. You're no longer putting up with that. You're full on rebelling against that. And that rebellion, which in this context is a fucking fantastic thing, it's spreading out into other areas of your life. And you've attracted a soulmate here. You have, because your vibe is completely different. Completely different. Your vibe is now telling other people, okay, I am no longer going to get down to your level. Here's how it's going to work instead. You want to be with me? You want to stand next to my side? You're going to have to raise yourself up to my level. Because guess what? I'm making the rules now. That's exactly what this energy is conveying here. And it's absolutely wonderful. I'm loving this. I think, Virgo, out of everybody, you've had the best reading. I'm not going to lie. Like, this week, you guys have had the best reading out of everybody. You've attracted romantic love here. And here's the thing, whether you were looking for it or not, right? It's here. Can you tell us more about this secret admirer? The world. Yeah. The world is a card of victory. This is the end of a very difficult, very exhausting cycle for you, Virgo. You're stepping into your new life now. Because that's the thing. It's almost like you were forced to rebel against these old teachings, and it's worked out, and it's still working out. This individual, they might be a fixed sign, which is Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio. You also have Cancer and Pisces coming through under the bracket of the romantic energies that's coming in for you, okay? And it's in your blind spot, so you're not expecting it. You're not, you might not have even been focused on it or looking for it or anything like that, right? If you're already with somebody and your relationship with them is absolutely fine, then it's saying that your relationship with your current significant other is going to improve because of this newfound sense of confidence that you have, this newfound sense of purpose that you have, and all purely because you've rebelled against your past programming, and I love it. Honestly, I wish that more people out there would do exactly what you've done here, Virgo, because guaranteed they would have much happier, much more fulfilled lives for certain. So yeah, you're definitely in the spotlight, I want to say, this week for being a good example to follow. Right, so what is currently working against you at this time? Decision. And this one, with it coming out in more of like the sort of negative context, because it's what's working against you, think a couple of steps ahead. Okay, you've got this chessboard down here, so you're going to have to think a couple of steps ahead in order to secure whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. I'm also feeling as well, what is working against you is that there's someone, and I don't know in what context they are around you. I kind of feel like they're trying to put issues and problems in front of you to make you feel stuck. Okay. Can you tell us more about this decision, please? Okay, the Four of Wands and the Seven of Cups. There could be a difficult decision that you're needing to make, Virgo, about where you currently live. Okay, so it could be about your home, your house, what you're going to do with that. Are you going to move? Are you going to stay where you're at and try and fix up what you currently have? Something to do with that. There's a decision here that's being made also, I feel, about a significant relationship with someone else. Do I stay and you know, try and work on it, try and fix it, or do I call quits and leave it in the past, right? Because there's an emotional decision here, Virgo, that at the moment it is kind of keeping you hostage a little bit, because you've not yet made a firm decision. And what is stopping you, I should say, from making this necessary, important decision is because you're emotionally invested in this thing that you're trying to decide upon. And that's exactly what makes it a difficult decision, okay? I'm also kind of feeling like you don't feel as if you have all of the power in that situation either. Because it feels to me like you're waiting for someone else to make a decision, and that's what's working against you. Right, so basically, Virgo, Spirit's saying, Virgo, you make the decision. Don't wait on the other person to make the decision. You make it, right? Especially with this newfound sense of purpose and confidence as well, right? Yeah, you can make this decision. You're feeling, I want to say, stuck, because you're afraid that you might make the wrong choice. You might make the wrong decision. There's this vibe here that you don't want to make things difficult for a certain other person if you get it wrong, right? Five of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. So take some time with it, Virgo, right? Definitely don't be waiting on someone else to make the decision. You need to start making your own decision and your own plans here, okay? Because remember, all of the work that you've been doing on yourself, it can't always be about everyone else, right? Sometimes in life, yes, you absolutely are going to have to make choices, moves and decisions that other people are not going to like, that other people are not going to agree with. But do you know what? Sometimes life just be that way, right? It doesn't mean that you're vindictive or greedy or selfish or spiteful or anything like that, okay? Sometimes in life, decisions that you have to make, yeah, someone out there is not going to agree with it. But you also need to consider as well, Virgo, that this is your life, right? This is your life. Okay, so let's take a look at what is working for you. Yeah, power. The fact is, Virgo, you actually do have a lot of the power in this situation. Okay, that's moon in Scorpio energy. You might well have a moon in Scorpio. But ultimately, It's all about having to make those moves that are likely going to be misunderstood by others. And you know what? You're going to have to be okay with being misunderstood. Okay, Virgo? That's part of your shadow work. Yeah, it is shadow work. The moon. Like, are you kidding me? The moon, with the moon in Scorpio with power, and then you've got this doorway here with the sun, the moon, and then the black darkened mountains in the background. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's shadow work. Straight up. So you are going to have to be okay with being misunderstood. There's another message here about these emotions with the moon. Can you tell us more about this moon? The Queen of Swords, yeah, stand your ground. There's also a message here about your intellect, and then you've got another Queen of Pentacles, long term. So they're saying for you to think long term, to focus on long term. What's this shadow work with the Queen of Swords? Ace of Cups, love, compassion, empathy. Okay, these are squiffy. Six of Cups squiffy, and the Four of Pentacles also squiffy. Yeah. It sounds harsh, Virgo. They're saying here there's no room, there's no time, and there's no space for you to be nostalgic about having to make this decision. Okay. To be nostalgic when it comes down to this important life-changing decision here that you're about to make, to be nostalgic about that would be very, very foolish. Okay, that would hold you back. Yeah, you've got the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Abundance, fertility, growth. I kind of feel like there's something else here with the moon. I'm wondering actually if this is something that you're keeping up your sleeve. It might be. So I'll carefully phrase the questions as not to give the game away, just in case someone else is watching your reading with like nefarious intent or anything. So I'm just going to ask, is there anything else that we're allowed to see about this particular moon? Because I feel like there's a hidden... There's a hidden layer to this particular moon with it coming out with the Queen of Swords, where at the moment you're being careful, quite rightly so, about everything that you say at this point in time, so as not to trigger someone's feelings, not to hurt someone else's emotions type thing. Okay, so let's just ask if there's anything else we're allowed to see. Yeah, the Fool reversed. Talk about being held back, right? The Fool reversed, that's saying literally, Virgo, you cannot afford to gamble with your future here because of the way that someone else may or may not feel about you having to move on to something new. Okay. Possibly still grappling with feelings of guilt somewhat with that moon. Okay. What else can you tell us? Yeah, the Knight of Cups. Keep your intent pure, honest, and true. What's under there? The Knight of Wands. Another knight. Two knights back to back. Whenever you get two knights that come out back to back, it can indicate disagreements or fighting in among people. Like usually friends, that sort of thing, associates, but then there's a reunion, a reconciliation that follows pretty quickly from that. Okay, so it's kind of like two people falling out with each other, having a bit of a Barney with each other, going ghost for a couple of weeks, and then after that couple of weeks they're speaking again and actually starting to sort out their differences. Okay, I'm saying that because it's come out with the Fool reversed, and it's to clarify this moon, right? So that's definitely how this energy feels. I also wouldn't be too surprised, Virgo, if this person, whoever they are, I don't know who they are to you, they might try and pull on your heartstrings here in order to convince you to change your mind. So, for example, and this is just an example pulled out of the sky, okay? I'm not saying that this is what's happening. This is just like an imagery. Say you were born and raised in a certain town, and you've lived there your entire life, and now you've grown and you've realized, okay, I want to expand on my horizons. I want such and such a career. This town that I'm in, it's not viable for me to have that particular career in this town because, it's not a very well maintained town. It's quite run down. You know how it goes. So I'm going to have to move away from my childhood town. That involves moving away from everybody that you've basically grown up with, right? One of your friends finds out about it and is pissed off about it because, of course, they're going to miss you, right? And so they end up falling out with you. Even though they love you and they care for you, they've allowed their emotions, their anguish, their upset to come between you and the friendship with you, and right, their own selfish reasons. They don't want you to see you moving away, but for your own growth and for your own betterment and for your own future, you know that you need to leave that little town. There's just no other way of doing it. And yes, you'll be back for holidays and all the rest of it. Yes, it's not going to be the same, but that is what's being required, right? And you cannot possibly be expected to stay in that tiny little town until, you're old and frail, and then before you know it, your entire life has passed and you've not done anything with your life, right? All because of what? Nostalgia, memories. Do you know what I mean? So that's just to put an imagery to what's going on here. And I see you really, really strongly taking a stand and going, do you know what? That's not me. It's not for me. I need to find my own way, and I can only do that someplace else, basically. And because you've taken on that new energy and that new mindset, you're vibing different, and then you've got all these other people who are now attracted to your new vibe. So that's pretty much your reading in a nutshell there, Virgo. Let's get you some healing messages, some guidance. What else can you tell Virgo, please? Oh, okay. Lost compass. Getting back to integrity. This one's number 35. Let's take a look. What is going on? Okay, getting back to integrity, finding the way home and trusting intuition. When the lost compass appears, it is a sign that you need to find your way back home, which is back to your source and center, relying on your intuition to arrive there. Be wary of the signs telling you to turn here or turn there, or to avoid this or that person or that situation, because the outward indicators, they are not reliable right now. Be careful not to believe all the advice that you're receiving. Yeah, because they might well have their own vested interests in keeping you staying where you're at, okay? Rely instead on your own innate sense of direction and guidance, and use your homing instinct to lead you true. The lost compass has come to show you that you need to find new counselors. You're not getting the mentoring that you need for your success. Who is that person that you're looking up to as a model for what seems to, as a model for what it means to be a man or a woman? Trash that ideal. tear up the picture that you carry in your mind. You're meant to be you, not the best copy of someone else. Make this your mantra. Love me or leave me. The lost compass is a blessing in disguise, because you sometimes have to lose your bearings in order to find yourself afresh, to discover a new course. True north never changes, so reset your way to your heart's compass. And trust your deepest feelings even when others do not support them. Remember that you're not lost. You simply do not know where you're going right now. Lost is just a state of mind. Not knowing where you're going is an opportunity to find a new path. Yeah. They're literally saying, when it comes down to you following your own internal compass, Virgo, there is no right or wrong direction. The only right or wrong direction is when it comes down to following other people and trusting other people's opinions over and above your own intuition. That would be wrong. Okay, that would be the wrong direction. So many people can give you so much advice, and in their heart they could well believe that they're coming from a good place, but ultimately you need to understand that only you know what is best for you in your life, right? Okay, so let's see if we can uplift this energy with a shitty card. Okay, sometimes you feel like shit, sometimes you aren't happy about it, but it's better to feel like shit than to be full of shit. Beautiful. But yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that reading has been helpful. For personal readings, my website is phoenixkeiatarot.com. The link for that is in my description box below. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.